Hari Om, bhajagovindam chanting verses 26 till the end.
कामं क्रोधं लोभं मोहं त्यक्त्वात्मानं पश्यति सोऽहम् आत्मज्ञानविहीना मूढा ते पच्यन्ते नरकनिगूढः येयं गीता नाम सहस्रं ध्येयं श्रीपतिरूपमजस्रम् नेयं सज्जनसङ्गे चित्तं देयं दीनजनाय च वित्तम् सुखतः क्रियते रामा भोगः पश्चादन्तशरीरे रोगः यद्यपि लोके मरणं शरणं तदपि न मुञ्चति पापाचरणम् अर्थमनर्थं भावय नित्यं नास्ति ततः सुखलेशः सत्यम् पुत्रादपि धनभाजां भीतिः सर्वत्रैषा विहिता रीतिः प्राणायामं प्रत्याहारं नित्यानित्यविवेकविचारम् जाप्यसमेतसमाधिविधानं पूर्ववधानं महदवधानम् गुरुचरणाम्बुजनिर्भरभक्तः संसारादचिराद्भवमुक्तः सेन्द्रियमानसनियमादेवं द्रक्ष्यसि निजहृदयस्थं देवम् भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते सम्प्राप्ते सन्निहिते काले नहि रक्षति डुक्कृन्करणे नहि रक्षति डुक्कृन्करणे नहि रक्षति डुक्कृन्करणे
सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करमावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। One of the most misunderstood statements from the scriptures is this statement, artham anartham. Wealth is calamitous. When he says wealth is calamitous, don't take something wrong with wealth. There's nothing wrong with wealth. In fact, in our culture, we worship wealth as Lakshmi. We have a great reverence and regard and respect to wealth. So if you see a 100 rupee note or even 20 rupee note on the ground, take it and touch in your eyes. We have the respect. Same way we respect books. You don't touch that. If by mistake, even if you touch that legs, immediately we take it in our eyes. We say, I'm sorry. So it is respected. So don't think that, they have, I told you, Shankara's first work of Shankara is to Mahalakshmi. Lakshmi Stotra is his first ever work of Shankara. See, known as Kanakatara Stotram. See, so it's not that he says, wealth is calamitous. When he says wealth is calamitous, what you need to understand is in the medicine bottle, they would have written poison. See, it's a caution so that you understand how to use it. See, how to use it. If that poison is not referred there, you will take it like water, keep drinking, like Pepsi you drink and you get into trouble. Like I know a lot of people who were, when they were not getting this alcohol, I heard them taking this all weird things. I'm not going into the extremes, I'm talking about general people itself. I've seen they buy this cough syrup, buying the cough syrup and drinking because it contains alcohol in that. So that's why I tell people when they ask, do you drink? I say yes. They think, what, you drink? Yeah, of course. Do you smoke? I say yes, I smoke also. Why? Every time I standing in the, 6 signal, what am I doing? Breathing in and breathing out. Only what free. You don't pay for it. Many times in my life I have taken cough syrup. Look at the cough syrup. It has that, alcohol content in that. In fact, beer doesn't have so much alcohol content. Cough syrup has more in terms of per percentage. So if you see that, but they put in the medicine on top, they in the label they print and paste it, calling it as poison. But isn't it a medicine? Yes, it is a medicine. Also, it's poison. What is it, sir? What is the difference? Depends on the dosage. If you take to the right dosage, it's a medicine. If you don't adhere to the dosage, it becomes poisonous. Similarly, he says wealth is calamitous. It is dangerous. Beware of it. It's only a caution. Why? Because in life, you start believing that you are pursuing wealth as a means to an end. And over a period of time, slowly the means becomes the end. In the beginning stages, you do it. In the beginning stages, you think, okay, if I earn that money, then I can enjoy. Correct. So I have to earn. So earning is only incidental. It's a means. The final end is that. But if you see your life carefully, you have spent all your energy only on earning. Spending and enjoying, where is the time and energy left in you? You see, you don't have that energy left in you to enjoy anything. All gone. That's why every time you get a little opportunity here and there, you jump in, go overboard. Why do you do that? You do, overboard you go. Like, every time, I go to Chennai, my brother has this big problem always. The moment I go there, breakfast, lunch, dinner, everything will be cooked by my mom according to my taste. She'll cook. And she will come and ask me. And this fellow says, I'm staying here 365 days. She never asked me. I said, that's why she doesn't ask you. You should go there once in a year for 3 days, 4 days. If you go, then you will get all those things. Every day you are going to be there, who is going to ask you? Why they don't? Because that duration is very limited. Similarly, the opportunity you get to enjoy is so little, so rare in your life. So you try to grab as much as possible. In the hurry to grab as much as possible, you lose everything. So that's what the problem is. You see, so it's not, wealth is not a problem. So his point is, what he's saying is, don't keep postponing. In the name of earning money, don't postpone. Says, enjoy right now whatever you have, whatever you are having right now. You know, suppose we say, if I have nothing, what to do, sir? Enjoy that also. See, you will never find anyone in the world who doesn't have even a rupee with him. Not possible. You know, but recently they found, about 34, 17 lakhs or 20 lakhs when they removed the, corpse of a, beggar, the street here in Bangalore. Remember last year, about 17 lakhs or so they found. Under he had, but he was living a life of a beggar. Yeah, what? But he had 17 lakhs with him. Strange. I said, I wish I knew that fellow. You know, but do you enjoy? Now we think, that's exactly what you are also doing. Now he is sitting on 17 lakhs, you are sitting on 17 crores. That's the only difference. With 17 lakhs, he is living a beggarly life. With 17 crores, what are you going to do? With 70 crores, what are you going to do? With 700 crores, what are you going to do? You are just sitting on it, that's all. And you believe that, as though it's coming like, no. Remember, it slowly it goes. Then how do you do that, sir? That is where the scriptures come and help us. There are a few dimensions to it. How do you deal with wealth? In fact, I should be charging every one of you for this seminar today. How to deal with wealth. I have not seen anyone teaching that. Nobody teaches. How do you deal with wealth? Okay. I'll give you one aspect. One by one we'll go. Okay. First thing is, do you realize that there is a old, proverb or saying we have, that wealth doesn't stay more than 3 generations? Have you heard? Wealth doesn't stay with the family more than 3 generations. Generation 1, generation 2, generation 3. 4th generation onwards, you see, it will not be there. She'll back off. It's a rule. It's a rule as such. It will not stay. Question is why? There was a time once that wealth of the things were in India, and then towards Arabia countries, Persia, and then it was in Europe, and then it was in US. Again, slowly he was moving towards China, Japan, China. Next war will be there. He'll come to India. And then what? Again, it will not be here. It goes. It goes. It goes. Why? Why that is a rule? You earn. You slog and slog and slog and earn. But as a rule, it will not stay. It's just a question of time, depending on the quantum. That's about it. You don't recognize it in some places. It will be recognized immediately depending on the quantum. That's all. If it is a huge amount, it will come out so immediately. You can't see it, straight away. It will take time. Look at all those people. Like look into all the Fortune 500 companies of 80s. Where are they now? They don't exist. Forget about all this. East India Company had an army with which they were able to conquer a country, one company. Where is it now? Not even an office they have now. It's all gone. What happened to all those things there? What happened to all this? Why is it that no country or no family, no company, no individual is able to hold that wealth for subsequent generations? If at all you think, you should think like that. If you are thinking of wealth, this is how you should think. Why is it, sir? Why this is the rule? Why this is the case that wealth doesn't stay more than 3 generations? The maximum. You see that, one fellow, self-made man, he makes a big fortune. And then his son takes over and he builds it further. They go. Next fellow, when the grandson comes into this, what happens? Next generation. Why they are not able to hold it? See, nature works impeccable. Remember, either there will not be 4th generation or the 4th generation is such a useless generation. That's a rule. Remember this. You can't change it, I can't change it. This is Sanatana Dharma. Don't get angry with me. All that you have earned, slogged and earned in this Janma, you is going to be totally abused by your great grandson. He is such a useless, or she is such a useless person. For that person, you are slogging today. This is, ask me, Indians are very, hardworking. Why not? I said. I was in Ananda. The fellow was telling me, Indians are very hardworking. I said, why not? They will be hardworking. Why? You fellows work for yourself. We work for 7 generations. Because we know the product of mind is going to be what? Such a useless fellow, he cannot survive in this world unless I earn and give it to him. Why? My product, no. What is the quality of the producer will be the quality of the product. My product is such a useless product which cannot survive if I don't earn and give. That's why we are hardworking. Why? 7 generations I have to work. Obviously. I was laughing. Correct, Ishwaran. Look at all Indians. That's why Indians, wherever they go, they are very hardworking. Correct. Why? You not. You slog. Why it doesn't stay? See, if you understand the secret, there is nothing beyond this. This is the only factor. That is why the only country which held number 1 position in the world economy for 1600 years was India. You know that? This is economic research being done by a fellow. He says, for 1600 years, when British came to India, before that, they say, in the world GDP, industrial output of the world, India's contribution is 24% production. That was a country. For 1600 years, we were number one. US is struggling to keep that number one position for the last how many years? Post World War II only they became number one, correct? Huh? And where are they now, sir? The whole country is in debts, they are saying. The country is in debts. Economically, they are pathetic condition. Say, there is no solidarity. Yes, but still they are number one today, correct? But how long? They are not able to maintain for 100 years. These fellows are able to manage that for 1600 years. How is it? What is the secret? Hmm? How they were able to manage that, sir? So rich. This is the secret. This is not a secret. Now, don't think it's a secret or anything. This was known to everybody in this country. Unfortunately, we forgot. That's all. Do you all realize there was in India, we had more number of gods than human beings? There was a time once the population of gods were more than human population. 33 crores. God population. Human population was about, few crores only. Gods were 3 times of our population. So many gods, this is God, this is a. Do you realize there is no God for wealth? You know that? We are having only goddess for wealth. There is no God. There's no God for it. Kubera is not a god, by the way. Kubera is not a deva. Kubera is a yaksha, demi. He is considered as a rich man. That's about it. Kubera is a rich man. That's all. For this entire kalpa, who is going to be the richest will be Kubera. That's all. Richest man, Kubera. That's all. He is not a god. So don't keep doing this Kubera puja. Stupid fellows keep doing puja for Kubera. No. Do for goddess. There is no God for wealth. Why these people did not have God for wealth? See, when you say knowledge, you have Saraswati. Also, you have Hayagriva. You know that. Hayagriva is also considered as God for knowledge. The Akshanamurti is there. Why? Ganesha. Ganesha is also God of knowledge only. So, it's not only Saraswati. But when it comes to wealth, there is no God. There is only goddess. Why? If you understand this, you understand the whole thing. If they had conceived of so many gods, they could have created one more god also, no? For wealth also. There is wealthy man. That is Kubera. He's not a god. In the technical one, we call him Yaksha. That's all. And the description of Kubera is ugly fellow. You know that. If you read the description of Kubera, ugly fellow he is. He doesn't have. But Mahalakshmi is beautiful. She is such a beauty she is. In that, we get a clue. What is the clue, sir? Wealth functions exactly like a lady, woman. She has that behavior of a feminine quality. Wealth has a feminine quality. What is a feminine quality? When you chase a girl, she will run away from you. She will try to move away from you. Okay. But she will never move so far. She will never run so fast that you cannot catch her. Have you seen? Isn't it? They will never go. They will go away from you, but all that they will go is what? They will run in such a speed and maintain the distance, giving you all the hopes that you can stretch little more, you can catch her. She's not in the reach. You can't just stretch your hand, she is in the reach. No, slightly above, slightly more. All that you have to do is what? Stretch little more. If you stretch little more, you can catch her. And then you stretch. When you stretch more, she will run little. She'll take 2 steps. You take little more, she will run. She'll run. She'll run. This is the hide and seek played by all women psychologically. And I explained this in any college. Another 5 minutes, I can't speak. This college and schools, when I teach this topic, when I touch, 5 minutes claps, whistle and claps, and neighboring class teachers along will come. I ask, what is going on here? They say, correct, no. Don't they do that? That's what they do. Your wife will get angry with you, but she will never get angry with you to such an extent that you can't pacify her. But that's not the husband's behavior. You know that. Wife will get angry, but she will give you all the hints. All that you have to do is what? Do little, slightly you have to come out. If you do that much, she'll get pacified. Very easy. All that you have to do, little stretch, little stretch, little stretch, little stretch. This is exactly what wealth does. One aspect. Okay. Keep this in the background. Another dimension is there. There are 2 dimensions. Based on this only they decided there has to be only goddess for wealth. There's no god. Second dimension is women being same. Okay. She gets quickly bored, or she never gets bored. If you approach women as mistress, she gets bored with you. Same lady, when she becomes mother, she never gets bored. You've seen that? Mother never gets bored with the child. She will be there. She never leaves the child. Whereas, you approach that lady as a mistress, what does it say? She quickly gets bored with you and leaves. That's exactly what accounts for the behavior of wealth. Doesn't stay more than 3 generations. Why? What is the approach you have towards wealth? Do you see wealth as mother, or you see wealth as mistress? What is your attitude towards it? If you have that attitude of mother, permanently she will be there with you. She will never leave. But unfortunately, all of us approach wealth only as what? Mistress. It is there to give me pleasure. Wealth is supposed to give me pleasure. You see, mother is what, sir? You go to mother with gratitude. What is the difference? The mother and with mistress. Mother, you go to with gratitude. How many of us have gratitude towards wealth? Hmm? Are you grateful? See, I'm not talking about the source from where you got wealth and all that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the sheer fact that you are able to have a comfortable sleep on the mattress. Are you grateful to the mattress? Hmm? I'm not talking about attachment. I got used to this mattress. Wherever I go, I have to carry my mattress for me to sleep. I'm not talking about that. That is attachment. That is addiction. I'm not talking about addiction. I'm saying, are you grateful? See, how many of you have the gratitude towards the computer through which you are gaining this knowledge? Hmm? As far as you are concerned, what is it? It's a gadget, is it not? Just an equipment, inert, lifeless, useless thing. Whenever I want, it should be on. Whenever I don't want, it should be off. Full stop. Are you grateful? Are you having the gratitude towards the door that you have in the house? Huh? How many times you would have slammed the door when you are angry? Imagine next time you come there and say open, it refuses to open. What will you do? Hmm? Or if the door never locks, what will you do in life? Do you have that gratitude towards that? Do you see that with gratitude, or you see that for its utility? If you go to wealth for utility, 3 generations back off. Whatever is there will not be there with your grandson. You are earning all this, but your great grandson will not be there to enjoy it. And what's the point? Now you think, if I create it, if I create this, legal system, that system, some protection, if I keep it in the bank itself will not be there. Now what? You have no idea how, nature functions. You see, if it goes beyond a point, nature will stop the subsequent production. You know that. The subsequent production will be stopped. There will not be great grandson. Great grandson will not exist. Now what is the point? Struggling, earning all this, getting this, getting that is of no use. What are you going to do then? Remember, how do you reach to wealth, sir? Artham, anartham. When? If you go to wealth as a mistress, anartham. Are you Lakshmi Pati or Lakshmi Dasa? That is the question. You go with that attitude that, I'm going to, she is there only for me to enjoy. She'll back off. But you go to her as a mother, even if you kick her, she will not go. That's mother. But the question is, it's not in the lady. Remember, it's not in the lady, because the lady is saying she gets put off with the husband, but not with the son. No mother gets put off with the son or daughter. They'll never, they may fight this, that, nothing, but they will be there. He's such a bad fellow. He is a very good boy only, sir, but his friends are not good. She will say. She will defend. That's a mother. Now, If you approach her as mother, meaning you go to wealth with gratitude, she's there. Otherwise, she's not. This is your attitude. Okay. Now we go to next dimension. Okay, Ishwaran, I've got the right attitude. But then how I have to actually transact with wealth? In wealth, I am not going to be discussing in terms of how to earn in part, because I've already told you there are 4 parts to wealth: earning, preservation, spending, parting. I've touched about preservation. Okay. Parting, we have already discussed in the under the topic of charity, which of course there are other aspects. I'm not going into those details. Now we go to earning dimension. I can't be commenting on that because I am not qualified. Right. Now all you people are qualified for that. Earning dimension of it, everybody knows. Any wealth management, organization you go for studies, all that discussion is only in terms of how to earn. How to earn basic and then how to earn more. Active income, passive income, this way, that way, investment, all those things are all only what? Earning part. Right. Now, I have no idea about all that. Where to make that investment? Am I to put it in the gold, or am I to put it in, stock market, or this one, which business to do, or which profession I have to take? All that you are doing is earning part. I'm not worried about that part. That all of you are doing already. So whatever you are doing, continue. But what you forget completely is the other 3 aspects with reference to wealth. How do you preserve it? We think preservation of wealth can be done by the external arrangements. Nothing will happen. You cannot hold her. The only way to hold wealth is to look at wealth as mother. Change that attitude. And it's not going to happen overnight. Okay. It's not that from tomorrow morning onwards, you have to do namaskara to everything that you have in the house. That's not what I'm saying, please. When you're enjoying things, be grateful. Have that gratitude towards wealth. She will be there with you. You don't have to worry. Preservation part. Next, we go to this spending part of it. Now, how do you spend? Now, spending, immediately we think, okay, I have to spend very, very minimum, sir. There's no percentage and all that. I can't give you people percentage. Of a spending dimension, Shakespeare gives a beautiful formula. We go to Shakespeare for that. This, Polonius' advice in the play Hamlet. He gives a formula. There, the minister gives an advice to his son. There he says, costly thy habit, as thy purse can buy, rich, not gaudy. How you should be going with wealth? How do you spend? So your spending should be, let your habit be costly, thy habit, spending, as thy purse can buy. Whatever you have, with that you buy. Right. Now, today, what are we doing, sir? You are not buying with what you have. You are buying with anticipated income. That's why you take loans, isn't it? How do you take loans? On what basis you take loans? Anticipated income, isn't it? I anticipate, I foresee the possibility of that much. And now I am earning 50,000 rupees a month. So in another 5 years down the line, my income will go to 75,000, 80, 90,000, lakh and 20,000 I will go to. So I would be able to repay then that much amount. For that, I take loan today. Isn't it? How else they give you loan? How do you get loan? All anticipated income, which is notional, not a reality. You are spending that money today. You are buying it today, anticipating that I will earn that much money. it will crash. You cannot maintain it. It is not possible. That's not growth. That's a bubble. So I remember one of the interviews, one lady asks, what do you think of recession? To Swamiji, in one of his interview in CNN, I think. That interview, the lady was asking him, what do you think of recession? Because when he was invited to Lehman Brothers for a lecture a few years back, that was at that time Lehman Brothers was like they were like dominating the whole thing. They're in the peak. At that time when he was speaking to the CEOs there, he told them, "You will crash," he said. They all thought this man is talking crap. What nonsense. How can Lehman Brothers crash? After the crash, when he went to US, that's the time they had an interview. They called Swamiji for an interview. There, they asked him. The lady was asking, in terms of, what do you think of this recession? He turned around and asked her, which recession you are talking about? She thought he is being philosophical. He said, I'm not being philosophical. I'm being factual. Because every 5 years we are having a recession. Is it not? Think carefully. The last 50 years of world economy you take. Every 7-8 years there is a recession. Recession, recession, recession. Which means, have you ever recovered? You feel like it's building, boom, falls. Again grow, dhamal, fall. Again grow. You call that as growth? Why? Don't do business with loans. Don't buy anything with a loan. And he says, everybody used to tell, I myself have heard, when you were saying, yeah, Swamiji correct Ishwaran, but he doesn't know business. So many have told me, your Swami correct Ishwaran, but Bhagavad Gita la he is correct, but business la he doesn't know. I'm not saying he is a great businessman or anything. I'm only talking about this aspect of it. That's all. Why? Because he's the only person who has been speaking against loan. I've never seen anyone talking against loan. Everybody says, got to borrow. That's what Shakespeare says. Neither a borrower nor a lender be. Neither a borrower nor a lender be. For loan of lose itself and the borrower, the friend also. You lose both. How do you spend your money, sir? Let your lifestyle be costly as thy purse can buy. In that, how you should spend, sir? Rich, not gaudy. That's the beauty there. Costly the habit is not Shakespeare's touch. That's anybody can give that advice. You see, in that he says what you should buy, sir. Whatever you use, that should have that quality. In that you go for rich. But it should not be gaudy. Gaudy in the sense, I'm giving extreme examples. Okay, only then we understand what is gaudy. Gaudy in the sense, you fix mirror on the shoe. That's called gaudy. This is a standard example they give. I say, what is a standard example of gaudy? According to me, gaudy is, in Chennai, the fellow comes with a 3-piece suit for a meeting. That's called gaudy. One shirt to have in that 45 degrees itself is too much. The fellow has a waist and then a shirt and then one thin one. On top of that he has a blazer also. And he comes Now I can understand the fellows having that in England. Correct. You need layers. You see, there, why they have 3-4 layers? The layers is what will protect the body. Correct. Where? In England. You see. Now in Chennai, you come with 3 layers. You must be, something wrong mentally. Otherwise, you cannot be like that. In the reception, I've seen, people coming. And one fellow standing next to him only to apply, remove kerchief, sweating otherwise. Why do you put on all this? For what you are doing? It's totally out of context. You see, things don't fit into the context. In the context, you should come with. That's called Gadi. Have rich things, sophisticated things. How do you manage it, sir? We give the example, concept of spillover. That is a very beautiful concept. How do you manage your money, wealth? Spillover. Spillover means you keep pouring the water in the glass. Keep pouring, pouring. Glass will get filled. Continue to pour. It comes out, you see. What flows outside, that is called spillover. Spillover means that. Means the glass is filled up, but you continue to pour. Spills. So you spend out of what? Not from the glass. What is outside? That's how you should spend your money. Now, what are we doing there? There's no glass at all. That's why, every company, they say they are in trouble now. During this lockdown period. Everywhere problem. I'm yet to hear one fellow, at least for heck of it, one fellow should call me and say, you have been paying salary full. For 6 months salary, you are paying full. No issues. Everything is normal. At least for 6 months, you must have a cash reserve, no? For you to run the company. If not for 1 year. At least for 6 months, you should have reserve. At least, if not the company, at least to run your family, you must have, no? That also we don't have. Why? Now, every one of us have got our own, status. You see, that's what it means, rich. Now, each one has our own social standing, my own lifestyle. I have to live that lifestyle even if I'm not able to earn anything for another 1 year. Do you live like that? Then, where is stress? Imagine, for another 1 year, even if nothing comes, nothing happens to me. My lifestyle will continue the same. No loss at all. No equation. I have kept that reserve to manage. Then there is stress. In fact, 1 year lockdown will be considered by you as what? Maja period. You'll be sitting at home only. You don't have to work. Maja, man. I don't have to work. I don't have to do anything. But our problem is what? Stress. Everywhere stress. Everywhere, people are having so much of mental problem now. Why? No work. No work means what? No earning. If you are not having earning, what happens to your life? So every time what we have to do is, now the problem is, when you are having huge quantum, the drop will not be registered immediately. Like, if I am not able to change my helicopter, one fellow committed suicide years back, one German businessman committed suicide. You know why? Because he is not able to change his helicopter. Earlier, he was changing his helicopter once a year. Now, he is not able to change it once a year. Therefore, he says, I'm committing suicide. What is life if I cannot change my helicopter every year? Now you people will say, why do you have to change, man? You see, you will definitely say what? Why? Most of them will be wondering, because I also thought the same first time when I heard this. What is this problem here? Let it be there, no? That height will not be registered, the variations. But the drop should not be there. At the same time, you should be able, how do you do that, sir? Spillover. How do you manage your life? Manage your life with that spillover concept. When you live with that spillover, you get it. How do you manage that? That's where we call idea called standardization. How do you spend things? Remember two things. Standardize, your things. My requirements are all this. Standardize your requirements. This is what I need. This is what I need. This is what I need. On what basis you will do the standardizations as spillover? In that you go for rich. You see? So spillover comes standardization is how you deal with it. You live life. How do you spend? How much you spend? In which aspect you have to be spending there? Spending should be happening on this basis. Thereby, there is no issues at all in life. You live comfortably. Otherwise, you don't understand who is rich and who is poor. Who is rich? Now, we all believe who is rich, sir? Rich is the one who has a bungalow, has a car, who has this, who has that, bank balance, properties. Now, that's not richness, remember. Richness is not in quantum. Then, it's to do with the ratio. Your wealth to your needs, your desires. If your wealth is more than your desires, you are rich. Your desires are more than your wealth, poor. No matter how much you have. It's got nothing to do with how much you have. Now we believe in the number of possessions, what I possess. If I have diamonds and if I have gold, if I have this and all that, if I come out, we call that person to be rich. No, that's not the way you decide. Now, how do you decide rich, sir? Richness and poverty is to do with your proportion. What do you possess? What do you have? To how much you need. How much you need is defined by what? Desires. That desires, your likes, your wants, what I want. I have 1,000 rupees, but I want 2,000 rupees. Then I am poor. I have 1,000 rupees, but I want only 200 rupees. Then I am super rich. Ordinary richness is what? I have 1,000 rupees. I want 800 rupees. I want 900 rupees. That is a rich fellow. Super rich means what, sir? I have same 1,000 rupees, but I want only 200 rupees. Suppose you say whatever you have, you say I don't want anything. What happens then? Go through the same equation. Mathematical equations, no? Any number divided by 0 becomes what? Anything divided by 0 is infinite. Isn't it? Infinitely rich. Doesn't matter how much you possess. Who cares? You see, that's what he gives in that poem. The village preacher, passing rich with 40 pounds a year. He says, he defines that village preacher to be a man who is living a rich life with what, sir? 40 pounds per annum, not per week. Per annum, his income was 40 pounds. With that, the fellow is living life of what? Rich life he is living. Why? No needs. Artham, anartham. If you don't understand all these things, and you have to include parting also. How do you part it with people? You know, I can't teach that to people together. You know, how do you part your wealth? Is another, amazing dimension. I'm not talking about charity now. Okay, I'm not talking about that. How do you part from that? How do you, extricate yourself? Leave it and go. You know, hardly we have people, know how to leave and go, how to drop it. The grace with which you do. See, gracefully you should be able to, part with wealth. Yama has to come and extricate you, tear you out of it and carry you. You don't leave it and go. Just like that, drop, go parting with wealth. You should know how to do that. Now, where is the teaching in these three aspects? Since the vast majority of the world is ignorant of the critical three dimensions of wealth, which is preservation, spending, parting. All your energy is spent only on earning, assuming once I earn, everything else I will handle it. Restaurant and all I know. How to preserve I know. How to spend I know. How to part I know. All those things I know, Ishwaran. Only one thing that I don't know is what? How to earn money. With that attitude, when you come to wealth, Shankara says, Artham Anartham. Wealth is calamitous. What a fantastic advice. Wealth is calamitous. Then how do you contact it, sir? Your attitude towards wealth should be to go with gratitude. With gratitude, you go. Permanently, you will have wealth. Teach that to the children. Do we teach that to the child? I have not seen a family where they teach kids to look out wealth with gratitude. One group of people look at wealth with contempt, out of jealousy. Those who are not having. Those who are having look at wealth as a commodity. My slave, it is there only to serve my ends. You look at her with that attitude, she'll pack off. She will not be there with you. Now, that's what we see happening everywhere. Now, any family you take, any nation you take, any community you take, it doesn't stay more than 3 generations. Part, goes off. Why? Why this is not happening, sir? Why we are not able to hold it for a long duration? Because that attitude is wrong. First, cultivate this attitude. Then come to the practical aspect of it. Practical dimension is this. Is a standardization and spillover. Only three things you got to remember. Wealth means the 4 aspects of it. All 4 is painful, not because per se there is pain. Earning is not a painful aspect if you know how to earn. In fact, I do that aspect also. Earning is a effortless earning. It is, happens automatically. It is not a struggle. You struggle and get things done. No. With fun, you get things done. With fun, you earn. It is not with a struggle and earn. Whatever the quantum, I'm not talking about the quantum. You see, Earning also is painful aspect. Every aspect is painful. Why? Because of our wrong approach. Have the right approach towards wealth. If not, what will happen, sir? What is a proof of it? There is a study being done by these guys, and they found there is a unique problem the wealthy have called wealth fatigue syndrome. It is a syndrome people have. You're fatigued with wealth, tired. Why? You aspire, you earn, you grow, you grow, you grow, you achieve. You become a super achiever. You become a super achiever. You become a super achiever. A point would come where you become a loner. You're all alone. You see, your wife will be scared to take the phone and call you. She will think twice. Maybe he's in a meeting. You see, a wife will not be able to call you with freedom. You know, your friends will not call you so easily. Why? They say, he's be busy here. If you are in the middle level, you will never understand this. You see, the middle category, Allah, you will never understand this. You got to reach that peak. That's why you see all these people have, all of them have psychological problems. Look into the social structure. Which society has psychological issues? Affluent or poor? The poor doesn't have any psychological problems. They have only physical problem. They have, physical diseases. Mental diseases they don't have. Why? Now, you have to live life between two choices. What is that? Either you suffer from physical diseases or you suffer from psychological diseases. Why? Those who have that name, fame, power, wealth, all that I'm saying. Wealth don't take only in terms of money. Includes all that. You have that fame, have that name, so much of fame you get. And that fellow goes what, sir? Goes off. How many, big names, we can go on dropping names. Why they are not able to hold themselves properly? What is the problem? Fatigued. Why? Because remember, wealth is calamitous. It's a very pertinent statement. Don't take it, just like that Shankara saying, hey, wealth is calamitous, man. It's not like that. Think carefully. See, when a poor man or a middle class fellow wakes up, he has a hope in his life. We all realize the poor man has a hope. He thinks what? One day I will also buy that car, and then my life will be Maja life. He will go to office. Today he is going by BMTC bus only. But every time when he sees a Honda City or Mercedes, when he sees that, he feels what internally? He says, he thinks, all that I have to do is what? I have to pass this next exam. Right now I am only working in this company, but I am studying that course. Once I finish that course, what will happen? Straight away I will go 3 steps ahead, which means straight away I will have an increment or I will get a job of huge. Then I can get that. Then I can get this. He has a hope. You know how strong it is to live life? So imagine you wake up in the morning, you should have something to do, no? Correct? Imagine you reach a position in life where you wake up in the morning, there is nothing to do. Nothing interesting for you to do. What will you do in life then? Will you wake up? That's why you see all weird things happening now in the world. Tattoo all over body. Why? I'm no longer feeling comfortable looking at my skin, normal skin. I can't see that. I need something. Why only in the Western world has got this adventure sports? India, we don't have adventure sports. Yeah, why, sir? Cross the road, it's an adventure for us. There's nothing we don't require a special adventure sports. Allah. You know, try to walk in that, Gandhi Bazaar road, you will know. Cross that road there. Gandhi Bazaar Market Road, you go and cross. Even now, still there is, who will come from where, no clue you have. You see, adventure sports. Why we don't have those adventure sports in India? Western countries only have adventure sports. Why? What happens when a fellow is playing an adventure sports? Why he needs that? See, he needs that kick for him to feel okay. Appa, I have that skiing I have done. You have to go in that speed. That body needs that sort of a thing to get a pep up. Now, if fellows look at them today, there's no kick at all. Even I remember when I joined the college, my college was a quiet education college, very strict. We are not allowed to speak to the girls in my classroom. Every day college, when it leaves, first bell will ring. All the girls will go. After 10-15 minutes, next bell will ring. Only then boys have to go. For the first 2 years, I don't even know the names of those girls in the class. Only when we came in final year, we learned the way of coming outside. You can't even stand in the bus stop. If you are standing in the bus stop, one professor will be standing there, checking. You see, the professor will catch you next day. So we are so scared, even talking to them. Now you look at these boys and girls, marriage is not nothing exciting about it. That's why they have to go for exotic marriages. Why you have to go for exotic marriages? You think it is to do with the affluence? No. It's to do with the mental. Why? There's nothing, there is no kick in the marriage. You see, earlier generations, that wasn't the case. They thought that I am going to be holding the girl's hand. And the thought that a man is going to hold my hand for that lady is such a kick. Today, there's nothing to look forward. Why? That's why you see people, there is nothing interesting for them. The affluent families you go, you tell him, let's go to Egypt. He says, I have seen. They go to this, Agra. Agra is the only place, in India. We have this, balloon, air balloon. This is nothing I have seen in Grand Canyon itself. The fellow. By the time that child comes to 18, 19, all that is possible in human life, he has seen, he has experienced. Okay. Now, after 20, what is he going to do in his life? You all realize. Why? Exposure. You see that? Nothing to look forward in life. This wealth creates a situation in life where you will have nothing to look forward in life. Then what will motivate you to work? What will motivate you to act? What will motivate you to go towards things to enjoy? Everything will look flat. You talk to him about pizza, he knows. You talk to him about Thai food, he knows. You talk to him about this one he knows, Mexican, you tell him he knows, Italian he knows, North Indian he knows, South Indian he knows, Sri Lankan he knows. Everything the fellow had seen. Now what else to do now? Now he says what? I will go and live in Himalayas. That also a sin. Doesn't work. That's how the hippie culture came. The early 60s, the hippie culture, that came in. Why? As a rebel. They rebelled against the whole thing. That also failure. This wealth is calamitous. Beautiful statement of his. Very, very pregnant statement of Shankara. Reflect all the time. Think about it. Think carefully. This is what you should understand about wealth. Truly, there is not the least happiness from it. Per se. Nothing wrong with wealth. Remember, don't say, don't go out and say wealth is useless. No. You have a wrong contact towards wealth. You have converted that medicine into poison. It's your approach to wealth is calamitous. Don't blame wealth for that. The wealthy fear even the sun. This is how it is ordained everywhere. Wealth is calamitous. Artham, anartham. See, beautiful statement of us. We'll see you in the next class. Thank you. There you go.